What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about the current state of the crypto markets right now. Things are very exciting. Things are absolutely ecstatic right now. X.com, YouTubers, your favorite Discord, everybody's euphoric. Everybody's having a good time. And the market, Bitcoin, XRP, Ethereum, all on the precipice of seeing new all-time highs. And they're going to. We are right about at that point where the finale phase, as I like to call it, of the bull cycle is coming. I expect this bull cycle to continue into 2026. I think that we'll top off probably sometime in Q2 of 2026. That's my expectation, but that's not the purpose of this video. The purpose of this video is actually to make you aware of something big that I think is coming over the coming days. And it might even be happening right now. By the time you watch this video, it might be happening. And hopefully I can be a kind of shoulder to lean on in this in respects to this, because I think what we're about to see is a shakeout. By the way, guys, hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't. I don't know if I said that in the beginning of the video. I normally do, but sometimes I forget. A shakeout is, where we see a little bit of volatility in the markets that make people uncertain of the current position they've gotten into, right? Think about it like this. So we've just pumped up. We've seen the markets going up over the past week now. We've moved up a good bit. We're on the precipice of seeing new all-time highs. Everybody's euphoric. Everybody's bullish. You're telling your friends to buy right now because we're about to see this next move up. This guy on YouTube told me it's going to happen. You're telling all your friends. People, the average person, the dumb money, as it's called, retail investors, as we like to call them, they tend to get in at not opportunistic moments, right? I think this is an opportunistic moment. I think that if you just wait a month or two, you're going to feel like a genius for buying at this price. But relatively speaking, by relative, I mean between now and like the end of this next week, we're probably at a relative high point. And obviously we are. We've been moving up. The media talking about things, everybody getting euphoric is a clear sign that people might be FOMOing, which is having the fear of missing out, right? They might be buying the top. And shakeouts are perfectly attuned for moments like that, where people buy, they think that they're smart. They had some guy on YouTube telling them this is the time, we're about to rip, and they buy, and then the markets see a 5% drop, a 10% drop, a 20% drop, more than that. This is crypto. Things like that happen. And these people who are, let's say, less experienced or emotional, which if you're buying a relative high, you probably are emotional. And it's okay to be emotional. We're human beings, okay? And I often do say it's okay to buy the high in crypto. It's just not okay to sell the low. Right? If you buy the high is momentary, right? You buy the high, it comes down, oh no, that sucks, you feel some emotions. But if you hold through that emotion, it'll go up. Eventually you'll be telling your friends, I bought here, and they'll be like, how are you so smart? You'll forget about the fact that it dumped, you know what I mean? And the reason why we're talking about this is we're going to look at a little bit of a chart here, a graph. I don't know what, the same thing, right? We're going to look at this here. This is something that I addressed in a couple videos yesterday and a couple videos today even, but I'm making a dedicated video to this specifically, is this Ethereum exchange liquidation map. If you go on coinglass.com, you can go to the liquidations here, liquidation map, click on that. This segment will be Bitcoin, but you can click on this and make it Ethereum, okay? If we look at Bitcoin actually, and you look at the past 24 hours, there's been a total, if we go all the way over here, a total of $4.3 billion worth of longs. Bitcoin is a over $2 trillion asset by market cap valuation, okay? $4.3 billion. That's a lot of longs. It's a lot of value in longs over the past 24 hours. For those of you who don't know what longs and shorts are, it's what you call a margin trade, a margin position, a leveraged position, where effectively you take your money and you're betting on the direction of the markets, right? Effectively, that's what it is, right? You can bet on the markets going down and make money as the market goes down. You can bet on the markets going up and make money as the market's going up. It's a little bit more degenerate, let's say, or sophisticated, as some people might say, than just buying and selling. You're effectively taking your money and amplifying it, leveraging it so that you have more money to make more money or lose more money, right? And it's very dangerous. Stay away from leverage positions, you guys. But this is not to tell you get into leverage trades, get out of leverage trades, anything like that. That this is addressing that there are leverage positions right now, a lot of them to the long side, right? We've got about $4.3 billion in Bitcoin just in the past 24 hours alone. And that's not what I'm here to talk about. We're using this point to compare it to Ethereum, which is about a quarter of Bitcoin's market cap, even less than that. In the past 24 hours, we had $5.04 billion in longs put on. Ethereum, which is a fraction of Bitcoin's market cap, has actually accumulated more longs in the past 24 hours than Bitcoin has, which is nuts. That's nuts, you guys. It's absolutely bananas. It's crazy. And moments like this, what we call over-leveraged moments, right? Whenever the markets, the open interest in the markets are high, whenever people are literally trading with their pants around their ankles, what comes next is what we like to call a shakeout, where people get wrecked, where people get cleared out, where these leverage positions get cleared out. Now, we don't have to do this. We could still move up higher and not clear out any of these longs. But typically speaking, if you think about it, these long positions, when they take profits, just like it amplifies their gains, it also amplifies the selling pressure. So before any kind of crypto or stock moves up, typically if there's a lot of longs piled on, you want to clear out those longs before you move up. You've probably heard of a short squeeze, right? Short squeezes are when there's so many shorts piled on that whenever the market moves up, whenever the price moves up and clears out those shorts, they're forced to buy back. And that sends the price soaring, right? This is that same idea, but it's like a long squeeze. And I wouldn't be surprised looking at this here. We have a lot of shorts too. In the past 24 hours, there's $2.5 billion in shorts piled on for Ethereum as well. That's a lot, you guys. We could move up to $4,800 before we move down. But the meat of this liquidation zone here is at $4,500. Ethereum is right now, I want to say at $4,700. Yeah, $4,725. Okay. And what we've done, and I was actually talking about this yesterday in my Ethereum chart, in my Ethereum video. What we've done right now is we've broken out of this zone that we've been in for like a year and a half, right here that we got back in March 2024. We've just broken out of that. It's absurdly common when you break out of zones like this. You break out a little bit, and then you back test to find support, and then you continue, right? And Ethereum, I mean, we're literally right there, pressing the barrier to seeing new all-time highs, you guys. We're also at the most significant resistance point for most charts, which is your all-time high area. We could go up a little bit higher. Watch Ethereum. Where is that high? That high is at 4,868. All these shorts get liquidated if we're basically at that level. Watch us pull a double top or a slightly higher high. Everyone's euphoric, and then what do? We pull back and we find support at this area. It might seem dramatic at the moment. I mean, from this current price, we're up about 11% this week. Maybe Ethereum takes a 12% spill. Maybe it takes a 10% spill. Perhaps we only go to $4,500 and that's a 4% spill. If Ethereum drops this much, altcoins are likely going to drop more than that, double that, triple that, whatever it might be. And again, that's the main purpose of this video, is to address the fact that there are a lot of longs piled on. There are not as many shorts, and typically you want to see those shorts pile on before you start moving higher. I mean, the longs are eclipsing the short positions. And maybe that's because maybe that has no effect and we're just going to run through anyways. We're going to move up to new all-time highs. But I don't think, especially with this past day, this past 24 hours, having more long positions put on for Ethereum than Bitcoin itself has, when Bitcoin has 4 times the market cap, I don't think that's healthy. I don't think that's healthy, and moments like this are just primed for a shakeout. So again, the main purpose of this video is to address that this is not something that's going to take a long time, okay? This is not going to be months. This whole bull cycle, every consolidation phase we've seen after moving up, we've consolidated for 3 months, if we're lucky, 6 months, 7 months, right? We've seen these very long, a year. We just broke out of an over a year and a half long consolidation phase for Ethereum itself, right? This is not going to be a long-lived thing. This is going to be a shakeout, which is a very short-lived thing, and it's going to be intense. That's the purpose of it, is to be intense, to scare you out of your positions, to make you make the wrong decision. You, who bought at the high, at the relative high, are chasing a crypto that is pumping. You just sold your boring coin for that, whatever. You got shiny object syndrome, and now, while you're in a spot position, which is better than being in a leverage position for these moments, you're still vulnerable to your emotions. If you're FOMOing at the top, it's okay if you FOMO. And at this point in time, not financial advice, not a financial advisor. If I'm speaking to anybody right now who has bought a relative high recently over the past few days, it's okay. It's really not, I'm definitely not encouraging anybody to sell. I would rather buy here than sell here by far. This is not a good moment to sell, because what if I'm wrong? What if we just keep moving up, right? I don't think I'm wrong. I'm not making this video because I think I'm going to be wrong. I'm not doing this for clicks. I'm doing this because I don't want to see people lose money. I've done this before. This is my 3rd bull cycle, and believe me when I tell you, man, emotions can make you make some bad decisions, right? I oftentimes I use my hands for this little story here, right? You've got one guy who trades or invests based on emotions, right? It's like paper in the wind. You've got another guy who invests and trades without emotion, with a strategy, and doesn't make any decisions based on emotion. Financial decisions emotionally, financial decisions without emotion. Who's going to make it, right? Who's going to get wrecked? It's very obvious. So it's okay to have emotions. It's okay to feel them. It's not okay to act on them. And I believe, if I'm right, this video might be very well timed. I believe that over the coming days, we're going to have a moment in the market that's going to generate a lot of emotions for a lot of people. And the people watching this video, I hope that you guys are staying your emotions, and you're like a rock. Maybe you're feeling them, but on the outside you're like a rock. You're not. Maybe you feel them on the inside. You're like this on the inside, all emotional and shit, but like a rock on the outside. You're not making any kind of improper decisions. Okay, it's okay to buy the high in crypto. It's not okay to buy the low, because you buy the high here, it comes down. It's not okay. It's not okay to sell the low. It's great to buy the low. You want to buy the low. It's okay to buy the high. It's not okay to sell the low. Okay, because the high is relative. Right now, if you buy the high, you FOMO in at the top, and then it goes down, you might feel dumb. But then in a month or two, and it might even be a week or two, you're going to be at dramatically higher prices. You'll feel smart for buying here. And that's why, again, I'm very much not encouraging. I hope nobody is getting the message, I should sell now, because that's the worst thing you could do. We're right on the precipice. I guess the worst thing you could do would be to do a 100x long. But the worst thing you could do is sell now, because we're right on the precipice of seeing this glorious moment of moving to the upside. I just wanted to make this video and put you guys on alert, red alert here, that we've got some tomfoolery going on with these leverage positions, and I think that people are setting themselves up to get wrecked. Most of these, $3.5 billion gets liquidated at $4.5 thousand. And as you go through, as this moves down, more and more people will go long, more and more people will go short. Once these shorts look like this, once they're piled on high on the day time frame, on the 7-day time frame, we don't need it to be piled high on the 30-day time frame. But once we move through this, I think that's whenever we will start to move up. And it's very common in crypto to see a little bit of a dump before we pump. It's actually very, very common, right? Like here, you moved up, everybody's excited. Think of it just like this, right? Back in 2020 here, okay, 2019, 2020. We had this high, everybody's excited. Finally, woohoo! We broke above the high. We're doing our thing, and then boom, shakeout. You had a very big, very dramatic, intense candle. You dropped 17% in 1 week. That could happen. That could happen right now. And then you moved up. It was a shakeout. The worst thing you could have done, even if you bought the high, the worst thing you could have done is to sell, because inevitably that was a smart price. Right now, I mean, how many people wish they bought Ethereum back at $480? It's all relative, okay? Just be patient, have faith, and do not make emotionally backed decisions. Everything's going to be fine. But I'm making this video again because I want people to be prepared and not scared and not fearful. We don't want to FOMO, but we certainly don't want to FOMO out of the markets either. We don't want to panic sell. So hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. Buy the dip, and hopefully I'm wrong. Hopefully this video is just a laughing stock in 3 days from now. But I think within the next 3 days we're probably going to see, and it might even be less time than that, we're probably going to see this shakeout begin. I expect it to be fast. I expect it to be intense. And then next week and the weeks after, we're going to sing Kumbaya and sit on top of a mountain of golden riches. All right? Take care. Bye-bye.